You all doing? Hope you are fine. We are still in Unit 4 and we will be doing a grammar lesson today. And the lesson is reporting commands. If you remember, you have done already a lesson on reporting statements. So we will be doing a similar type of exercise today. So are you all ready for that? Okay, good. Then please open your book and look at page number 41. Okay? So on that page, you will see this diagram. There are a few bubbles over here, and this shows what the teacher is saying to the class. Okay? So let's have a look at them. Leki, give me your homework. So what you notice is what kind of sentences is the teacher using when he is talking to the class. Okay? So Leki, he is addressing a student. Give me your homework. This is a command, right? Similarly, another one, Bridges, put your book down. So again a command. Sakti, wait for me. Let the boys clear up this mess. Bisnulal, finish your classwork first. So all these sentences are commands. So what kind of sentence is a command then? They all begin with to infinitive, right? Imperative sentences. I'm sure you already are familiar with this type of sentence. Now after that, look at number 2 of the same page. These are in direct speech, and these in number 2, this has been changed into indirect speech. So have a look once. I will write one example on the board when you are having a look. Okay? So number A on your book is, the teacher asked, Bisnulal. It means this reported speech is for the 5th sentences from the above picture that we just saw. Bisnulal to finish his classwork first. Now let's see how the command has been changed from direct speech to indirect speech. To make it a bit easier, I will write the direct speech as well here. So that is Bisnulal, finish your classwork first. Okay. Now let's see how this direct speech has been changed into indirect speech. All right? Because in all these cases, the teacher is talking to the students. The subject is teacher. That's why the teacher is here. And he is talking to individual students. He is addressing individual students. And this time, the teacher is addressing Bisnulal. So the object here is Bisnulal. So the reporting clause becomes, the teacher asked Bisnulal. Okay, in case of commands, we mostly use asked or told. These are the reporting verbs we mostly use in reporting commands. We will talk about these later as well when we do other examples. Okay. Now after that, how is the inverted comma replaced here? Do you remember when you were reporting statements, what had you used to replace the inverted comma? Yes, you used that at that time, right? But when we are reporting commands, we don't use that. Instead of that, we use to. So to replace this inverted comma, what do we use in the reported form? We use to in case of commands. Okay, after that, do you remember what was the second type of change you made when you were reporting statements? Yes, you change the subject if that is a pronoun, right? But here, In case of commands, the subject is always you and this is not visible. So we don't need to worry about that here. And another change you made while you were reporting statement is you changed tense of the verb. But in case of commands, we don't need to change the tense either. So it's pretty easier than reporting statement. After we replace the inverted comma with to, we write infinitive form of the verb. It's already an infinitive, V1. So we write the same verb here to finish. After that, there is a pronoun your, and we do need to change it in commands as well, as we did in the statements. So your becomes, what does it become? Yes, his. Your is a second person pronoun, and that is changed according to the object of the reporting clause, right? I'm sure you remember. So according to Bisnulal, your is changed into his. And classwork first remain the same. So what are the main changes you noticed here? Let's look at it once. The reporting verb, it's usually ask or tell. So we have used the past form here because it is a past tense. And then we replace the inverted comma with to, unlike that here. And we always use to infinitive. And if there is some pronoun and we change it, and other things remain the same. Okay, so we'll have a look at one more example from the book. Another one there is Leki. Give me your homework. So how has this been changed? The teacher, again, because the speaker here is the teacher and he is talking to the students, the teacher asked Leki, and then we need to replace the inverted comma, right? And what do we use? We use to give the same. We don't change the tense of the verb. Now me is a pronoun here because it is a first person pronoun. We need to change it according to the subject of the relative clause. So the me here becomes him, right? And your homework. Now and there is another pronoun, and because this is a second person pronoun, it is changed according to the object of the reporting clause. And here the object is Leki, so it can be either a boy or a girl, but we can assume that this is a girl. So it becomes her homework. So are you getting this point? I'm sure you are. So it's very easy in comparison to reporting statements. You just need to change the write the reporting verb and replace the inverted comma with to every time. And then the tense of the verb is not changed. You just need to change the pronouns if there are any in the sentence. Okay? So we'll have more practice, and let's have a look at the exercise given in your book. That will provide you more practice, I hope. Have a look at page number 42. I have copied the same exercise here. We will go through the sentences one by one and try to change all these into indirect speech. So the same exercise is in your book as well. So you can either look here or at your book. Okay? Good. Okay, let's have a look now. Read each sentence and write a new sentence with the same meaning. The instruction is not very clear here, but what you have to do is, you have to change the sentences which are in direct speech here into indirect speech. The commands are given here, you have to report these commands, okay? Okay, so the first command is don't wait. And to make it easy for you, the reporting clause is already given in your book. So I have copied the same here. So we don't need to worry here about the reporting clause. We just need to change this command into indirect speech here. Okay? So are you also trying to do it? Yeah. Okay, let's do it together. He asked me. Now how do we replace this inverted comma? Yes, we use to. But this is a negative sentence, isn't it? Because this is a negative sentence, if we only write to, our changed speech will not be negative. So what do we need to do here to make it negative? Any idea? Okay. Not only to, but in case of such negative sentences, we write not to. He asked me not to wait. Okay? So what should you remember from here? If it is a positive command, you simply write to and infinitive, right? But if it is a negative command, what you have to do is, you have to write not to and then the infinitive verb. Okay? Have you understood this point? Good. Now let's look at the second one. Remember to post the letter. This is a positive command, right? And again, the reporting clause is already there. Remember to post the letter. It shows that somebody is reminding somebody to post the letter, right? So the reporting verb here is remind. Before we had said that we can use ask or tell as the reporting verb, right? Now there is one more verb, remind. So what reporting verb you use in the indirect speech depends upon what kind of command you are reporting. Okay? Have you understood this? Okay. Once I will tell this in Nepali. हामीले यहाँ कुन रिपोर्टिङ verb युज गर्ने भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ यो कमान्ड कस्तो खालको छ के खोजिराखेको छ यसले भन्ने कुरामा भर पर्छ. Okay? Here the command is about reminding someone, remember, right? That's why we have used reminded as the reporting verb. So she reminded me. Now what should we do? Yes, we should replace the inverted comma with to. Now we have already written remind here. So do we need to write remember again? What do you think? Yes, we don't need to write remember again. It's already here in reminded, okay? So we simply go from here. She reminded me to post the letter. So what happens is, if we have already included the sense of this verb in the reporting verb, we don't need to repeat it again here. Let's have a look at more examples, then you will be more clear, okay? Now another one, keep out of these rooms at all times. This is a command and we have to change it into indirect speech. Again, Kripa warned is already there in your book if you have a look. So we have to add an object here. So simply you can use me all the time. Okay, so Kripa warned me. Now what do? You should replace the inverted comma to keep out of. Now there is these, right? So do we need to change this or not? What do you think? Yes, we should change it, and this becomes those rooms. There is no other thing to change there, so everything else remains the same. Okay, I hope you are getting this. Now let's have a look at number D. Don't shout. Again a negative command. And Bin told Jen, it's already there in your book, but instead of Bin, Bill and Jen, you can use any suitable subject and object here. It doesn't make a big problem, okay? Now Bill told Jen, what do? To or not to? Yes, not to, because this is a negative command. not to shout. Okay? Now E, please don't tell anyone what happened. Again, another imperative sentence. If there is please, if it is usually a request. So in your book it's already written asked there, but instead of ask, if there is the word like please and if you are sure it is a request, you can also write request as a reporting verb. Okay? So Anuj asked me or Anuj requested me. Both are fine here. Okay? So Anuj asked me. Now what should we do? Please don't tell. Again, this is a negative form of sentence, right? So what do? We write not to here. And do we need to repeat please? No. Another thing you have to remember in case of the requests with please is we don't write please in the indirect speech. It only comes in direct speech. So we just don't write it in the reported form. Okay? So Anuj asked me not to now tell anyone what. Now here, happened, what happened is a clause and it is in simple past tense. So in such cases, if there is an additional clause in the command, we need to change the tense of the clause. This is not very usual in case of commands. In the previous examples, there were no additional clauses, so we didn't change the tense. But here, there is an additional clause, and this is in simple past tense, and we need to change the tense of this clause. So it becomes what? Simple past is changed into past participle, right? What had happened. But again, I repeat, please do not get confused. We don't change the tense of the main verb of the sentence. The main command verb, the tense is not changed. Only if there is an additional clause there, the tense of the clause is changed. Otherwise, no tense change is required in commands. Do you understand? Okay. If you are not getting my points clearly every time, please consult your teacher as well. And dear teacher, if you are also present there, please help your students with their confusion if there is still any. Okay? Now, number F. Open the door for her. And in your book, Tom asked her is already there. Now let's do the remaining. It is a simple command, so we don't need to think about anything else. This is a positive command, so we simply write to here and open the door for her is a pronoun here, but if you remember the rule, the third person pronouns do not get changed, right? So because her is a third person pronoun, we don't change it, it remains the same, her. Now if you read the full sentence, there are two hers, so you can get a little confused. Let's have a look. Tom asked her to open the door for her. If you think it's a little confusing to use her twice, what you can do is, instead of this her here, you can change the object. That doesn't make any difference. So instead of her, you can simply write me here if it is not already given for you. Okay? Otherwise, grammatically, this sentence is also right and it's not a problem. Now the last one, in number 1, listen carefully. And Sabdik asked Prasiksha, it's already there in your book. So what should come next now? Yes, it is a simple positive command. So we just link this is to listen carefully. Okay? So, are you getting this point? Okay, good. Now there is one more exercise in your book. Let's do that as well together. and then I'm sure you will be more confident doing this. It's on the same page. Have a look. Number 2, report the following sentences. Again, I have copied the same exercise here. Okay, can you see it clearly? If not, please refer to your book. It's there as well. Okay. Now we are given complete sentences in direct speech and we have to change them into indirect speech the same way as we did before. So let's try again. Eat more vegetables and fruits, the doctor said. The reporting clause is given at last. So while writing the reported form, you can bring this reporting clause in the beginning. So it becomes the doctor. Now, what do we do with this said? Can you tell me? Yes, it is changed according to this. So you can simply write tell or ask here, but if you want to make your reported sentence a little bit better, then you can see what kind of command it is. A doctor is saying perhaps to the patient, eat more vegetables and fruits. So what is this? This is a kind of advice, isn't it? So either you simply write tell or ask, or you write advice. That's up to you. But please remember, if you are confused and not sure what kind of command it is, you don't worry much about it. Simply write tell or ask. So that will make your sentence correct. Alright? Here we can write advised. Now advised whom? The object is not given here. So it's up to you what object you want to add here. It can be simply me. The doctor advised me, or the doctor advised the patient, the doctor advised him, her. You can write any there, okay? So let's write the patient. The doctor advised the patient. Now what do? We need to replace the inverted comma. To eat more vegetables and fruits. And there is no adverbial, no pronoun here to be changed. So this is a bit easy sentence, isn't it? Now let's look at number B. Okay, shut the door, Dad said. Again, the reporting clause is at last here. So what we do is we bring it in here. So Dad now said. What verb should we write here? What do you think? Shut the door. It seems that it is a type of order, right? So either you write Dad ordered, or if you are not sure whether order will fit here or not, just don't worry about it. What you write, tell, okay? So simply Dad told. Now whom? Again, there is no object. You have to add it yourself, okay? Dad told me, simply, okay? Dad told me to shut the door. Okay? So I hope you are getting all these things clearly. If not, please ask your teacher as well. Now, number C. Arnab said, thank you. Now tell me, is this a command? No, this is not a command. It seems that in your textbook, the sentence is here by mistake. It is not a command. But even in this case, we can change this into indirect speech. So we will do it. And sometimes it happens, so in your exam as well, sometimes you may come across some unexpected type of sentences. So we need to do that too. Okay. Now let's see how we can do it. Arnav. Now, Arnav said thank you. This sort of expression thank you is used only in direct speech. In Indian and direct speech, we can't say Arnav told thank you or something like that. Okay. So the reporting verb itself is taken from this sentence in case of such sentences. Okay. So the verb here is thank. So what we do is simply is Arnav thanked. Okay, because this is in past tense, we need to make it past as well. And there is no object given here in the sentence. Again, it is up to you what object you want to add. So you can simply add me, that's easy. Okay, Arnav thanked me. Okay. So again I repeat, this is not a command, this is not an imperative sentence, but sometimes you may get this type of sentences as well in your exercise, in your exam. So if you come across this sort of sentence, the reporting verb itself comes from here. We use the same verb here, that's easy. Arnav thanked me, that's it. Okay. If you have any question regarding this, or if you haven't understood anything that I said now, please ask your teacher. Now the fourth one, the notice said, welcome to Manang. Again, not a command. Welcome to Manang is not a command again. Okay. So how do we change it then? The notice. So what reporting verb should we use instead of said here? Any guess? Please talk to your friend as well if they have any idea. Okay. Again, as we did before, we use the same verb and that comes here. The noticed, welcomed, and there is no object here. So the notice welcomed whom to Manang? What are these type of notices for? Who are these for? What do you think? If you see some poster or something like welcome to Manang, so who is this targeted for? The visitors, obviously, right? So this welcome to Manang is for the visitors. So you can simply write the same object here, the visitors. The notice welcomed the visitors to Manang. These two are a little different type of sentences than what we have been doing in this class. So I request the teachers to help your students more in this type of sentences, and if they haven't understood anything yet, please help them to understand this type of sentences and let them have more practice on it. Now let's move on. The fifth one, don't drive too fast, I begged him. This is a command. So it is the similar sentence that we have been doing this morning. Okay. Now I begged him comes here. If you have noticed it, begged itself is a type of reporting verb. It's not said here. Okay. So you don't need to change it. You can use the same verb here. I begged. And the object is also given here, him. Now we write it as it is. Then what do we do? To or not to? Yes, this is a negative sentence. So what do? We write not to drive too fast. Again, if you have a look at this sentence carefully, this is a kind of warning as well, isn't it? Don't drive too fast. Somebody is warning you. If you drive too fast, you may get an accident or something like that. So, if the reporting verb is already not given here, or if you want to change it, you can also write warned. Okay? So another type of reporting verb that we can use while reporting commands. Okay. Now number F. Fry it in oil. She advised me. So it comes here again. See. And advised itself is a reporting verb for command. So we don't need to change it. Advised me. And then what do we do? Yes, it is a simple command, positive one. So, to fry it in oil. Okay. Advise is there in our list. So, another kind of reporting verb we can use while reporting commands. Alright. Now, the last one, he advised me. Again, we don't need to make any changes here. So, it comes as it is. Don't lend her anything. So this is a negative sentence. So what do? Yes, we use not to, lend, and there is a pronoun. Do we need to change it? What do you think? Yes, right. This is a third person pronoun, so we don't need to change it. It remains the same. Not to lend her anything. And advice is already there in our list. Okay, so we discussed about how we can report commands today. I hope you have understood it. And I would like to give one more example that's very, very common. And we often see it whenever we go. Don't smoke. Okay? So let's do it as the last example for today. How can we change it in indirect speech? You can add any suitable subject and object here, any suitable reporting clause here. Okay. Don't smoke. So what can we do? Okay, let's see. My father. All right. My father. And what kind of meaning does it give, or what kind of sense can we get from this? Don't smoke, don't do this. This means forbidding, forbid. In Nepali, manahi garnu, garna nadinu. So my father forbade me. So in our list of reporting verbs, one more verb is added, forbid. Forbid is the present form and forbade is the past form. Okay. My father forbade me. And do we write not to or to? What do you think? Now read this statement. Forbid itself is negative, isn't it? Forbid means not to allow to do something. So if the verb itself is negative, do we need to write another negative marker here? No. So we don't write not. The father forbade me to smoke. So what did you understand from here? If the reporting verb itself is negative, we don't need to use any other negative marker like not here. Okay? So if you still have any question left, please ask your teacher, and please have a lot of exercise. You may have some grammar books as well. They will also provide you plenty of exercise, and the rules are also given there. So for now, for today's class, we are almost done. I hope you enjoyed today's class and you understood whatever we practiced today. If not, then please ask your teacher, refer to the grammar books, and have a lot of exercises. Thank you. Namaste.